Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Relationships. Let's talk about something we've all faced at some point: being ignored. Have you ever sent a message, waited eagerly for a reply, only to be met with silence? That little bubble stays empty, and you can't help but wonder, did they see it? Are they ignoring me on purpose? Did I say something wrong? Trust me, you're not alone. And the good news is, it's not always about you. Today, we're diving into something that'll change how you communicate forever. Imagine sending a message and knowing it'll grab their attention, spark their curiosity, and make them want to respond right away. Not because you begged for their reply, but because they needed to. Sounds great, right? That's exactly what we're talking about. 7 types of messages they simply cannot resist. Before we dive into the magic of these messages, let's break down why so many of us find ourselves being ignored. Here's the thing. In today's world, people are bombarded with messages constantly. A quick "hey" or "what's up" gets lost in the sea of generic texts. Those messages don't stand out, and let's be honest, they don't give the other person much to respond to. It's not that they don't care, it's just that your message didn't grab their attention. But what if we could flip that? What if your messages became the ones they couldn't ignore? The ones that made them stop what they were doing, smile, and reply instantly. That's the power of understanding the psychology behind effective communication. Here's the key, folks. People are wired to respond to certain emotional triggers: curiosity, anticipation, validation. When you send a message that taps into these feelings, it's like flipping a switch in their brain. They can't help but engage. And no, this isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about genuinely connecting with someone in a way that feels natural and meaningful. Think about the last time someone sent you a message that made you smile or think. Maybe it was a playful tease, a thoughtful question, or a compliment that hit just right. Those moments stick, don't they? They stay with you because they're personal, they're unexpected, and they make you feel seen. In this video, we're breaking down the 7 types of messages that anyone, yes, anyone, can use to transform their conversations. These aren't complicated or over the top. They're simple, effective, and grounded in human psychology. Whether it's creating curiosity with a perfect opener or keeping the conversation alive with playful banter, each type of message is designed to connect on a deeper level. And here's the beauty of it. These messages work in any situation. Want to reconnect with a friend you haven't talked to in years? They work. Trying to catch the attention of someone you admire? They work. Hoping to build a stronger bond with your partner? They work there too. Now, I need you to stick with me until the end, because the final message we'll talk about is an absolute game changer. It's the kind of message that keeps them thinking about you long after they've read it. It's subtle, playful, and leaves just enough mystery to make them crave the next conversation. If you want to stand out in their mind, this is the one you can't afford to miss. But here's the deal. Don't just listen. Put these into practice. The sooner you start using these strategies, the faster you'll see the results. And trust me, they'll surprise you. Before we dive in, I have one small favor to ask. If you find value in this video, take a second to like it and subscribe to our channel. It might seem small, but it helps us reach more people and keeps us bringing you insights like this. Plus, if you don't subscribe, you might miss out on the next big secret we share. All right, are you ready to transform your communication and never be ignored again? Let's do this. Number 1, capturing curiosity with the perfect opener. Let's dive into the magic of curiosity, folks, because this is where the conversation begins. Think about it. How often do you find yourself drawn to something simply because you don't have all the answers? That pull, That need to know more is a psychological trigger that's universal. Curiosity is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal, and when you know how to wield it in conversations, you'll find people leaning in, eager to hear what you have to say. Creating the perfect opener isn't about being flashy or dramatic. It's about being intriguing. It's about leaving just enough unsaid to make someone ask, "Wait, what do you mean by that?" A great opener can transform a simple text or casual comment into the starting point of a conversation that someone can't help but continue. For instance, instead of saying, "Hey, how are you?" a message that's likely to be ignored or met with a one-word response, try something like, "I just remembered something about you that made me laugh today." See the difference? The first message is generic and easy to dismiss. The second one is personal, intriguing, and it immediately sparks curiosity. They'll want to know, "What did you remember? Why did it make you laugh?" And that's exactly where you want them, invested in continuing the conversation. The beauty of an opener that captures curiosity is that it doesn't just grab their attention. It sets the tone for the rest of the interaction. It signals that this isn't just another dull exchange. This is a conversation that's going to be engaged in, maybe even a little unpredictable. And let's be real, folks, who doesn't want that? Here's another example. Say you're reconnecting with someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Instead of the typical, "Hey, it's been a while," you could go with, "I was just talking about you yesterday. It made me realize we haven't caught up in ages." Again, you're leaving a hook. What were you talking about? Why were they on your mind? It's an invitation for them to ask questions, to dig deeper, and to keep the dialogue going. But curiosity isn't just about the words you use. It's also about timing and tone. Sending a message when they least expect it or using a playful, teasing tone can amplify the effect. For example, imagine dropping a text like, "You'll never guess what I just found out about you." It's bold, it's intriguing, and it's almost impossible to ignore. Just make sure you follow it up with something fun or lighthearted to keep the energy positive. The trick is to avoid being overly vague or cryptic. If your opener feels like a riddle with no answer, it might come across as frustrating rather than engaging. Strike a balance. Give them enough to feel intrigued, but not so much that they don't feel the need to respond. It's all about creating that sweet spot where curiosity takes over. Curiosity works because it taps into something fundamental about how our minds work. When we're presented with incomplete information or a question we can't immediately answer, our brains kick into overdrive. It's like opening a door just enough to see a sliver of light. You can't help but want to push it open and see what's on the other side. This psychological phenomenon, known as the curiosity gap, is what makes the perfect opener so effective. Now let's talk about personalization, because this is where your openers go from good to unforgettable. Generic messages can only take you so far. To truly stand out, tailor your curiosity triggers to the person you're talking to. If you know they're passionate about something, say cooking, traveling, or a favorite TV show, use that as your starting point. For example, "I just saw something that reminded me of your crazy stories about backpacking in Europe. Made me wonder, what's the weirdest thing that happened on that trip?" It's personal, it's engaging, and it shows that you're paying attention to who they are. And don't underestimate the power of humor. A playful or funny opener can disarm even the most guarded person, making them more likely to engage. Something like, "I just realized I have a bone to pick with you, but it's too ridiculous to explain here," adds a layer of fun and intrigue that's hard to resist. Folks, if there's one thing to remember about capturing curiosity, It's that the goal isn't just to get a response, it's to spark a connection. The perfect opener isn't a one-time trick. It's the first step in a dynamic, engaging interaction that keeps them coming back for more. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the most intriguing message you've ever sent or received? Drop it in the comments below. I can't wait to read your stories. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe for more insights like these. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 2, building anticipation that keeps them engaged. Let's talk about anticipation, folks. It's like that moment when you're about to open a gift. You don't know what's inside, but the excitement of what it could be is almost as thrilling as the gift itself. In conversations, creating this sense of anticipation can be a game changer. It keeps the other person engaged, curious, and invested in what's coming next. Anticipation works because it taps into our natural desire to resolve uncertainty. When someone is left wondering or looking forward to what you'll say or do next, their attention becomes focused on you. And when done correctly, this approach doesn't just spark engagement, it keeps the connection alive and exciting. So, how do you build anticipation in a way that feels natural and not manipulative? It starts with understanding the power of leaving room for curiosity while hinting at something worth waiting for. For instance, instead of giving away everything in one go, try holding back just enough to make them lean in. Imagine sending a message like, "I just thought of something you'd absolutely love, but I can't tell you just yet." It's a surprise. Right there, you've created a sense of intrigue that's almost impossible to ignore. Anticipation is also about timing. You don't want to drag things out for too long or leave someone hanging to the point of frustration. It's a delicate balance. Think of it like a dance. Each move should build on the last, keeping the rhythm alive. For example, if you've hinted at a surprise, follow up with playful clues that give them just enough to keep them guessing. It's something that'll make you smile, but I need a bit more time to finish it. This keeps the energy light and fun while building excitement. One of the best ways to create anticipation is through shared experiences or future plans. Let's say you're planning to meet someone. Instead of saying, "Let's grab coffee," you could say, "I found the perfect spot for us to hang out. Can't wait to show you why it's so special." This way, you're not just setting up a meeting. You're creating a sense of mystery around the experience itself. They'll be curious about the place and excited about the time they'll spend with you. Another powerful technique is using small teasers to keep the momentum going in ongoing conversations. For instance, if you're texting, you could drop a message like, "I've got to tell you something hilarious that happened today, but it's too good to explain over text. Remind me later." This not only sparks their interest, but also gives them a reason to keep the conversation alive. Here's the key to making anticipation work. It has to feel authentic. If your messages or actions come across as calculated or forced, the magic is lost. The goal is to genuinely share moments that are worth looking forward to, not to create unnecessary drama or games. For example, if you're sharing a story, build it up naturally. Start with the setup, add a bit of suspense, and then deliver the punchline or reveal in a way that feels satisfying. And folks, don't underestimate the role of tone and personality in building anticipation. Playfulness goes a long way. Instead of sounding serious or overly mysterious, inject a bit of humor or lightheartedness into your messages. For example, "Okay, I've got a surprise for you, but no peeking. It's going to blow your mind." The playful tone keeps things engaging and prevents the interaction from feeling heavy or overly formal. Another great approach is to tie anticipation to something personal about them. Let's say you know they're a fan of a specific book or movie genre. You could say, "I found something that reminds me of your favorite story. It's so good, I can't wait to show you." By making it about their interests or passions, you're not just creating anticipation, you're also showing that you've been paying attention to what matters to them. One common mistake to avoid is overpromising. If you build up something too much and it doesn't deliver, it can backfire. For example, if you're hinting at a surprise or a gift, make sure it's something meaningful. The anticipation you create should lead to an experience or moment that genuinely feels special, even if it's something small. It's the thought and effort behind it that truly matter. Now let's bring it back to you, folks. Have you ever received a message or experienced a moment that kept you guessing and engaged? What made it so effective? Share your thoughts in the comments below by writing, "I value curiosity," to affirm your appreciation for keeping things intriguing. And if you're ready for more tips like these, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Number 3, connecting on a deeper level through thoughtful gestures. When it comes to forging meaningful connections, thoughtful gestures are your secret weapon. These are not grand, over-the-top displays, but simple, intentional actions that show you truly understand and care about the other person. Think about it, folks. When someone goes out of their way to remember the little things about you, doesn't that leave a lasting impression? The same principle applies here. The goal is to create a sense of emotional closeness that feels natural and genuine. Thoughtful gestures can be as simple as remembering their favorite coffee order, or sending them a song that reminds you of a conversation you had. The power lies in the personalization. These small acts demonstrate that you pay attention, that their words and preferences don't just fade away into the background noise of life. For example, if they mentioned a book they've been wanting to read, surprising them with it shows you're not just listening, you're acting on what you hear. This isn't about material things. It's about showing that they matter to you. Another effective way to connect on a deeper level is to notice the unspoken. If they've had a tough day or seem off, offering support without them needing to ask can make a world of difference. You could send a quick message like, "I noticed you seemed a bit stressed earlier. Just wanted to let you know I'm here if you want to talk." These small, emotionally attuned gestures help create a sense of safety and understanding, building trust over time. Equally important is consistency. One thoughtful gesture can spark a connection, but maintaining that level of care solidifies it. Think of it like tending to a garden. You water it regularly, not just once. Consistent, meaningful actions show them that your thoughtfulness isn't fleeting. It becomes part of how you interact with them, deepening their sense of emotional security. Humor can also play a part in connecting. If you know what makes them laugh, sharing a joke or meme tailored to their sense of humor can be surprisingly impactful. It shows that you know them on a personal level and that you're paying attention to the lighter, joyful aspects of their personality. Here's where Stoic principles come into play. Thoughtful gestures shouldn't come from a place of expectation. You're not doing these things to get something in return. Instead, you're expressing care because it aligns with your values and how you want to treat people. The detachment from outcomes is what makes these gestures truly powerful. They feel genuine because they are genuine. In building a deeper connection, it's also important to respect boundaries. Thoughtful gestures are about enhancing the other person's life, not imposing yourself into it. If they've expressed a need for space, honor that. Sometimes, the most thoughtful thing you can do is to step back and let them breathe. This shows emotional intelligence and maturity, reinforcing their respect for you. To tie it all together, connecting on a deeper level requires attentiveness, sincerity, and a willingness to act on what you notice. It's not about grand gestures or constant communication. It's about creating meaningful moments that linger in their mind. Now, it's your turn. What's one small, thoughtful gesture you've done or received that left a lasting impression? Share your story in the comments with the phrase, "Small actions matter." Your experiences could inspire others to build deeper, more meaningful connections. And remember, folks, if this resonated with you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to explore about relationships, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Number 4, turning everyday messages into memorable moments. In the fast-paced world of instant messaging, it's easy for conversations to become repetitive and uninspired. But the truth is, folks, every message you send has the potential to leave a lasting impression. The key lies in elevating everyday exchanges into meaningful, memorable moments that stand out. Let's talk about how to make that happen. First, it's all about being intentional. Instead of replying with the same old, "What's up?" or "How are you?" try injecting a bit of creativity. For instance, if you're starting a conversation, begin with something like, "If today was a movie, what genre would it be?" This simple shift can spark curiosity and lead to a much more engaging dialogue. It shows that you're not just reaching out for the sake of it. You're genuinely interested in connecting on a deeper level. Another way to make messages memorable is to tap into shared experiences. Bring up a funny moment you both laughed about, or reference something unique to your relationship. For example, remember that time we got lost trying to find that coffee shop? That was an adventure. These callbacks not only evoke positive emotions, but also reinforce the bond between you. Using humor is another powerful tool. A well-timed joke or playful banter can instantly brighten someone's day. The trick is to tailor your humor to their personality. Maybe they're into witty sarcasm or enjoy lighthearted teasing. Whatever it is, use it to create a moment that feels personal and genuine. Even sending a goofy meme with a caption like, "This is totally you," can bring a smile and make the conversation more dynamic. Personalization is key. Messages that reflect your understanding of who they are stand out in a sea of generic texts. Let's say they've mentioned a favorite hobby or interest in the past. Sending a quick note like, "I just saw this article about hiking, and it made me think of you. Want me to send it your way?" shows that you're not just listening, but you also care enough to engage with what's important to them. It's also worth noting that tone matters. Messages can often be misinterpreted due to their lack of context, so pay attention to how you come across. Use emojis, voice notes, or even GIFs to add warmth and clarity to your words. A simple message like "thinking about you" can carry so much more emotional weight than just plain text. Another tip is to create anticipation within your conversations. Drop hints about something fun or interesting you want to share later. For instance, "I have a surprise for you, but you'll have to wait until tonight to hear it." This builds excitement and keeps them engaged. Anticipation turns ordinary interactions into something they'll look forward to. And don't underestimate the power of gratitude. Expressing appreciation through your messages can leave a profound impact. Something as straightforward as, "I just wanted to say I really appreciate having you in my life," can transform a routine exchange into a heartwarming moment. It's those genuine, heartfelt touches that people remember long after the conversation ends. Now, here's the most important thing to keep in mind. It's not about overloading every message with depth or trying too hard to impress. The goal is to find a balance between authenticity and thoughtfulness. You want to create moments that feel natural, not forced, because authenticity is what truly makes a connection memorable. So, let's bring this back to you, folks. What's the most memorable message you've ever received or sent? Was it funny, heartfelt, or just completely unexpected? Share your story in the comments below using the phrase, "moments that matter." And if you're enjoying this journey of exploring meaningful communication, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights. There's so much more to uncover, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Number 5. The art of genuine compliments. Compliments, when delivered thoughtfully, can have a powerful impact. But the key word here, folks, is genuine. Too often, compliments are thrown around without much thought, and they lose their magic. Let's dive into how you can master the art of giving compliments that not only stand out, but also leave a lasting impression. First, let's address the most common pitfall, focusing only on surface-level traits. Complimenting someone's physical appearance is fine, but it often lacks depth. A comment like, "You have beautiful eyes," while flattering, is something they've likely heard countless times. Instead, take a moment to notice and appreciate qualities that others might overlook. For example, "I love how you always make everyone around you feel included. It's such a rare and wonderful quality." When you acknowledge traits tied to someone's character or personality, your compliment carries more weight. It shows that you're paying attention and that you genuinely value who they are, beyond just their appearance. This kind of depth is what separates a meaningful compliment from a generic one. Context is another important factor. Compliments should feel natural and relevant to the moment. Let's say you're having a conversation about a challenging project they've been working on. A simple, "Your dedication to this is really inspiring. I don't think I could have handled it as gracefully as you have," not only fits the context, but also reinforces their strengths in a specific and personal way. Another key to mastering compliments is sincerity. People can usually tell when words are just being said for the sake of it, and insincere compliments often backfire. If you're offering praise, make sure it's something you truly believe. A genuine compliment doesn't need to be extravagant. It just needs to come from an honest place. For instance, "I really admire how calm you stay under pressure," can mean a lot when it's heartfelt. Timing also plays a crucial role. Delivering a compliment at the right moment can amplify its impact. Complimenting someone unexpectedly, when they're not seeking validation, can feel incredibly special. For instance, sending a quick message out of the blue that says, "I was just thinking about how supportive you were during that tough time, and I wanted to thank you again," can brighten their day and strengthen your connection. Humor can also be a useful tool. Playful compliments, when done right, add a layer of fun and lightness to your interaction. For example, "You've got such a sharp sense of humor. I'm starting to think I need to step up my game around you," keeps the vibe relaxed and engaging while still making them feel valued. It's also worth mentioning that how you deliver a compliment matters just as much as what you say. Eye contact, a warm tone, or even a thoughtful text can enhance the sincerity of your words. A compliment feels more meaningful when the person knows you're truly present in the moment. Remember, folks, the best compliments are often the simplest. They don't require elaborate wording or grand gestures. A short, heartfelt acknowledgement like, "You really have a way of making people feel comfortable," can stick with someone far longer than you'd expect. So, let's bring it back to you. What's the best compliment you've ever received? And how did it make you feel? Share it with us in the comments using the phrase, "compliments done right." If you're finding these tips useful and want to dive deeper into creating meaningful connections, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to learn, and trust me, you'll want to stick around for what's coming next. Number 6, making them feel seen and valued. Feeling seen and valued is one of the most powerful emotional experiences anyone can have. It's the foundation of meaningful relationships and the secret to leaving a lasting impression. When someone feels truly recognized for who they are, they're naturally drawn closer to you. Let's explore how you can master this art in a way that strengthens connections and keeps them engaged. The first step is to pay attention. People crave to be noticed, not just for what they do, but for who they are. Take the time to truly listen when they speak, not just to respond, but to understand. Notice their passions, quirks, and the little things that make them unique. For instance, if they mention a childhood hobby or a dream they've been quietly working toward, bring it up later by saying something like, "How's that photography project going? You seemed so excited about it last time." This shows that you're genuinely interested in their world. This kind of attentiveness speaks volumes. Another key aspect is acknowledgement. It's one thing to notice someone's efforts, and it's another to voice your appreciation. Simple statements like, "I admire how thoughtful you are with your words," or "You have a way of making everyone feel at ease," can make someone feel truly valued. The key here is specificity. General compliments are nice, but specific recognition has a much stronger impact. When you acknowledge the little details, like how they handle tough situations or their knack for solving problems, you're showing that you see their deeper qualities. Making someone feel valued also involves celebrating their achievements, big or small. Whether it's a promotion, completing a personal project, or even just getting through a challenging week, your encouragement can mean a lot. A message as simple as, "I'm really proud of how far you've come. Your hard work is inspiring," can lift their spirits and strengthen your bond. Physical presence also plays a role. Sometimes being there for someone, even in silence, can make them feel seen. For instance, showing up for their important events, or just being available when they need to vent, demonstrates that you value their time and experiences. In moments like these, your actions speak louder than words. Empathy is another crucial factor. When they're going through a tough time, don't just offer generic reassurances. Instead, validate their feelings by saying something like, "That sounds really hard. I can't imagine how tough it must be for you." By doing this, you show that you're not just hearing their words, but truly understanding their emotions. Empathy creates a safe space where they feel valued for their vulnerabilities, not just their strengths. Humor can also be a great tool. Playful banter or shared jokes remind them that you enjoy their company. Saying something like, "You're the only person who gets my weird sense of humor. How do you put up with me?" adds a lighthearted yet meaningful touch. Humor creates a sense of closeness that's hard to replicate through more formal interactions. Timing matters too. Recognizing someone when they least expect it can have the greatest impact. A random note of appreciation, like texting, "Just wanted to say you're doing an amazing job balancing everything. You're inspiring," can make their day. Unexpected moments of recognition feel more genuine and heartfelt, showing that your thoughts of them go beyond obligation. Lastly, creating a two-way dynamic is important. It's not just about making them feel valued. It's about ensuring they know you also feel valued by them. Saying, "I really appreciate how you always make time to check in. It means a lot to me," reinforces that the relationship is mutual. People feel more secure and valued when they know their efforts are acknowledged as well. Now it's your turn, folks. Think about someone who has made you feel truly seen and valued. How did it change your perspective or strengthen your bond with them? Share your experience in the comments using the phrase, "I feel valued." If you found these tips insightful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have so much more to share that can help you build stronger, more meaningful connections. Let's keep growing together. Number 7. Keeping the conversation alive with subtle playfulness. Playfulness is the spice that keeps conversations lively and engaging. It brings a natural, effortless rhythm to interactions, making them memorable and enjoyable. Subtle playfulness, when done right, creates an atmosphere of comfort and charm, encouraging the other person to let their guard down and connect on a deeper level. The magic begins with humor. A light-hearted joke or a playful tease can transform an ordinary exchange into something much more enjoyable. For instance, if they mention being terrible at cooking, you could respond with, "Good thing I'm a culinary genius. We'd make a great team in the Kitchen Disaster Olympics." This kind of playful banter shows that you're not taking yourself or the conversation too seriously, which helps them feel at ease. Playfulness also involves being a little unpredictable, sending a message that's slightly out of the ordinary, like, "You wouldn't believe who I saw today." Hint, it wasn't a celebrity, but close. Keeps the other person curious and eager to respond. The key is to strike a balance between intrigue and fun, without coming off as overly mysterious or trying too hard. Another effective strategy is to mirror their sense of humor or energy. If they enjoy sarcasm, don't hesitate to match their tone with a playful comeback. For example, if they joke about needing coffee to survive the day, you could reply, "Are you sure it's coffee keeping you alive? Or are you secretly a superhero with caffeine as your fuel?" This kind of interaction feels natural and personal, as if the two of you share a unique dynamic. Playfulness also thrives on shared experiences. Drawing from past conversations or inside jokes can add a personal touch. If they've mentioned a funny incident before, you can refer back to it with a twist, like, "I just saw someone trip over their shoelaces, and it instantly reminded me of your epic storytelling skills." This shows that you remember details about them, and it creates a warm sense of continuity in your interactions. Using playful challenges is another great way to keep things engaging. For instance, you could say, "I bet you can't guess my favorite dessert." Hint, it's not cake, but close. By incorporating challenges, you invite them to participate actively in the conversation, making it less of an exchange of information and more of an enjoyable game. Subtle playfulness can also involve light teasing, but it's important to keep it respectful and context appropriate. For example, if they're known for running late, you could jokingly say, "Should I set a timer for how long it takes to reply this time?" Playful teasing, when delivered in a kind and light-hearted manner, shows that you're paying attention to their quirks without crossing any boundaries. Another effective technique is to inject a touch of storytelling into your messages. Instead of saying, "I had a busy day," try something like, "My day felt like a sitcom. Spilled coffee, missed buses, and a stranger who thought I was someone famous. How was yours?" This approach sparks curiosity and invites them to share their own stories, keeping the flow of conversation natural and engaging. Emojis, GIFs, or playful reactions can also add a layer of fun to your messages. If they mention something exciting, responding with a celebratory GIF or a funny emoji sequence can amplify the mood. It's a simple yet effective way to show that you're genuinely engaged and enjoying the interaction. At its core, subtle playfulness is about fostering an environment where the other person feels relaxed and appreciated. It's not about trying too hard or being overly comedic. It's about creating a light, positive energy that naturally draws people in. By weaving humor, curiosity, and a touch of creativity into your conversations, you can keep them alive and thriving. Finally, reflect on your own experience. What playful moments have made your conversations memorable? Share your thoughts in the comments using the phrase, "I love playful chats." Let's celebrate the joy of meaningful, engaging interactions. As we wrap up, remember that the way you communicate has the power to create connections that are both meaningful and unforgettable. Whether it's through playful banter, thoughtful gestures, or genuine compliments, the effort you put into your interactions can make a lasting impression. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue this journey of growth and understanding together. See you in the next one.